smiled at me. Or over the course of the last couple of weeks, we've seen social media and the international media as well is guilty of this exaggerations of Japan's imminent doom, of the volcanic apocalypse and the megaquakes that are going to be hitting Japan imminent, like any day now. And they're not wrong, but we just don't know. And it's something that now is starting to get recycled every single year around this time. I don't know why. One little earthquake happens down in Miyazaki, and all of a sudden we're talking about the potential of a megaquake, and all these simulations just completely flood social media on how dangerous Japan is. Actually, this is nothing new. Ever since I moved here in 1998, I have been going through earthquakes every single month. There'd be something, like a small rattle or something. They're not major. At first, it kind of creeped me out. For people that are moving to Japan, this is definitely something that you need to consider. Not everyone is built to go through an earthquake, but one thing that is, are these buildings here in Tokyo. Tokyo is completely safe. If a megaquake were to happen here in Tokyo, it would be perfectly fine. I think it'd have to be right underneath Tokyo Bay, have to be something that really shook it. We would probably see some damage, of course, but the buildings today are built, they're built to withstand the worst of the worst. And Tokyo does not, is ready for it. It's just something that's always on the mind. It's something that's considered. But what Japan might not be ready for, because I mean, how do you prepare for a volcanic eruption? Imagine if Mount Fuji explodes. This is the thing that's really been going on the news media recently. Combined with the megaquake and the eruption of Mount Fuji and all the damage that's going to happen, this is scaring people, really. It scares me when I see what could possibly happen to me. Imagine me melted down like Mount Vesuvius. I went to Pompeii in Italy, and the poses of people in rocks, it scares me. I don't want to be, well, actually, if I were to go, that would be kind of cool to be. No, I don't think so. I went to Pompeii, and it was very, very impactful to see the civilization that was built upon a volcano's base completely obliterated like that. Yeah, it is a scary thing, but the thing is, we just don't know. The last eruption of Mount Fuji was in the 18th century. I think it was like 1708 or 1713, and they said that it's imminent, but it's been like 300 years. So I mean, you just don't know. Maybe in the next 30 years, maybe in the next 20 years, but the way that geology works, and I'm going to show you some of the exaggerations on the media as well. Don't worry about the typos. I'm just trying to get the live stream started. I'll fix that in a second for the playback. But one of the things that you have to understand is geology. The Earth is billions of years old. 1 second of our life, 1 second of the Earth's life feels like our entire life. Probably a microsecond of the Earth's life. So it could be generations before we have a megaquake in Tokyo or Mount Fuji erupts. It's sure to happen again. It is not an inactive volcano. I mean, it could, there is some activity there is what I'm trying to say. But it doesn't mean that you should change your everyday life now and fear for the volcano and the earthquake that's happening. You shouldn't alter your plans in coming to Japan. However, you should be educated on what would happen if, and that's what they're doing on the Japanese media. They're not scaring people like the social media. And I saw this recently here, which is the one here. I know I'm calling out people here, but the AI images are pretty crazy to see. And it says here, like, Japan warns Tokyo residents. Why would Japan warn Tokyo? Tokyo would warn Tokyo residents as Mount Fuji may erupt soon. What the heck does that even mean? Soon. What's soon? Give me a date. Why even write this? And of course it went viral. So I chimed in here as somebody, is my comment on here? I chimed in here and left my comment here. And so did a lot of other people. This one person is stop spreading false information and causing unnecessary panic. The Tokyo government recently released guidelines and procedures for what we should do if Mount Fuji erupts 2 days ago. This was just like 10 days ago. Not that Mount Fuji is going to erupt soon. Exactly. And this is the point here. I think that we're really based here in Japan, but I think when you look at the international media, it's really hard. I don't think I took a screenshot of what I wrote there. But if you take a look at the comment, it is kind of funny here. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't know why. It's okay. But I wrote that I am a Tokyo resident. I didn't receive anything in the mailbox. Nobody's knocked on my door to let me know that there's an imminent warning of Mount Fuji to erupt. And that's the point. All they're doing here is they warn us every year or so. There's a specific time. I think this is really great because we have to keep our mind on this. I mean, it's in the back of our mind. A lot of the schools in Shizuoka, in Yamanashi, in these two prefectures is where Mount Fuji is, all right? And in Kagoshima and places in Kyushu where there are active volcanoes, in Kagoshima, there's a volcano that erupts like every month there, Sakurajima. I've been there when it was smoking, and it's one of the coolest sights to see. But it has little mini eruptions all the time, and that's healthy. It's alive. The mini eruptions make sure there's not a mega eruption. So that's why people are a little bit concerned, because it's been centuries since Mount Fuji has erupted, that pressure could be building. But you would think that they would be able to predict this, at least give us some time. If you're watching like Dante's Peak and Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones, that's Hollywood. It doesn't happen quite like that. But if you were here in Tokyo, you probably would be safe. I say probably because we just don't know. They're releasing like guidelines. This is from the newspaper here, the Sankei Shimbun, very reputable source here. If Mount Fuji were to erupt, probably the gases and the smoke and all the ash would go towards Tokyo, and you can see the thickness of it. 30 centimeters is about a foot, right? So 10 centimeters is about, I don't know, like a third of a foot. What is that, like, I don't know, 4 inches maybe of and that's pretty significant. Your tires would have problems driving onto this, and you get 2 centimeters, which is also an issue. The ash clogs things up. It causes havoc with electronics, with sensory devices, with a lot of the things. Cars, for example, these auto-driving cars that rely on sensors probably couldn't run in ash. It's something that automakers in Japan are thinking about. But it also would shut down the airport, it would shut down the trains, it would shut down transportation. It would be a mess for a couple of days. And imagine, if it rains, you would think that this might be helpful, but it just mixes and creates like a cement, I was told. So it depends on how, I guess, a lot of damage would come out of this, okay? So it's something that we really need to consider, but it's not something that we're panicking about because there's nothing that we can do about it. In Japan, we live with like imminent death all the time as a result of the earthquakes. And you know, the scariest thing happened March 11, 2011 when I was in Tokyo, and it wasn't even the most impactful place to be, but it certainly felt it. It was a jolt like I've never felt before, a long earthquake. I remember that. I thought I was going to die. I didn't know what to do. Although we get warnings, you don't know what to do. So what's really critical for Tokyo residents, in particular, all residents of Japan, is to be prepared for something like this, at least as best that you can be, so you don't panic and you can kind of think, have a bag ready for it, have supplies ready. That saves lives over the course of, over the millions and millions of people. So it's all about saving lives. Amanda Main is here. How you doing, Amanda? Would love to hear, oh, it just disappeared there. Would love to have y'all's weather. It's colder as well here. It's pretty warm. I got my sleeves rolled up, but it is windy. It's typical March weather here. Those who are residing in Japan are cool with it. I don't think we're ever really cool with it. We're used to it. But I think outsiders should be worried, should not be worried so much. There's not a lot that you could do about it. If you pick, look, anywhere that you go in the world has risks. Everywhere. If you go to France, there's a good chance that there's some kind of civil unrest and you get caught up in some sort of riot on the streets. Who the heck knows what's going on in Paris these days? I love Paris. I got friends there, but they're like, I don't know, this might not be the best month to come to Paris, you know? So, I mean, wherever you're going in the world, there's always some kind of an issue, a social issue, threats from crazy groups. In Japan, you don't get any of that. You just get earthquakes and natural disaster things are scaring people. So, I mean, a tsunami coming up, and this is one of the reasons why I'm here. I can't even visualize a tsunami being so big that it would come and wipe out this entire area of Tokyo. There's risk everywhere. So I'm panning around Tokyo. This would be all gone if there was a massive tsunami or a mega earthquake that happened out in the middle of Tokyo Bay. Oh, the weather's really nice right now. So my advice to you is to do a little bit of research. Kind of learn about earthquakes. If you've never been in one, I'm talking about everybody who doesn't live in Los Angeles or, Chile or some of the other countries that have earthquakes all the time. It might be a good idea to get acquainted with what you would do. When you go to a hotel, you check into a hotel, kind of ask the manager about the earthquake plans. It's usually on the back of your door if you're at a hotel. If you're at an Airbnb, you might want to ask the host about it just to let you know, so you have sort of an idea what would happen if an earthquake were to hit. Where would you go? There are places that are designated as safety retreats. There's one over there for Toyosu, I believe, in the park that has water, has facilities. It's made in case of a disaster to accommodate people that might not have power, etc. The Skytree is another place that you could go. That whole area has been earthquake-proof. The Skytree is one strong building that it'll take a monumental natural disaster to knock down the Skytree. I'm telling you, they did an amazing job with that, and I got an episode on that coming soon. But the simulations, Foodloaf, thanks for being a member for 52 months. By the way, I want to say thank you to all the members here. I said if we get to our super chat goal, I'll release some new emojis. I did it anyways. So if you are a member, I want to say thank you, and you now have some new emojis that you should be able to see right now. Yeah, there it is. Foodloaf, you just laid into it right there. So go ahead and share the new emojis that you have here. I kind of been working on that over the last few years, few months, few days. Actually, this morning. I might have added that in there. So thanks for that for the members here. Lay it out there. Tatsu, there you go. Some Japan love. Nice. Look at the vending machine. Pack NW. Very cool. Joshua Skidmore's in the house. Yeah, there you go. So, look, we're going to see exaggerations of natural disasters happening here, right? If you look at Japan earthquake, we just get a bunch of exaggerations from people in the media or, social media making things not better, but I know it gets views because I'm a content creator as well. But it's all about keeping yourself based with this, because there's really nothing that you can do. The Megaquake, it's going to happen. There's going to be another big earthquake here in Japan. There was one 2011. There was a magnitude 7 in Miyazaki last year. We're going to get a big Megaquake. But when you see these images, India is maybe one of the worst with the over-exaggerated AI images. The Indian media is the worst of them all. It could be the best. It just depends how you look at it. With exaggerations, you thought the U.S. media was bad. Oh my goodness, just go to the Indian media. They're on another level with exaggerations. Just the news reporters, the way that they speak, like everything is the end of the world, everything is doom. They're good at it. I have to admit, they're maybe the best. But I've been living here for a very long time. Somebody said if you listen to John say 27 years, you can take a drink. Thankfully, that number changes every year, but it's been a long time. I've been through a lot of earthquakes. I've been through some of the worst. I've gone and volunteered into disaster areas when it was safe to do so. I've seen what happens after it. It's not nice, it's not pretty, it looks like a war zone, but they are rare, they don't happen often in this country, and if there's any country that is ready for it, it is Japan. So, there you go. Ramsey Silent, you totally went in and did them all. That's animated Kanai and animated Leo. There you go. And John with the blah face. And the vending machine drink one. I figured that's what a lot of people are looking for here. Japan estimates long anticipated megaquake could lead to 1.8 trillion in damages and result in 300,000 deaths. It could, or it could result in almost no damage and just you know, a couple of houses falling down, which is awful stuff, but we just don't know. But of course, they tell you the worst possible, you know, aspect of it. So what is happening here? This came from the Tokyo government. You can tell from the logo of Tokyo on the bottom. It's that green logo. That means that's Tokyo's city's logo. They'll tell you about, you should go check, resupply, make sure that your batteries are charged, like pocket batteries, so you can charge your phone and stuff. Once a year, they'll remind you to do that. Make sure you have like a blanket, maybe be prepared for this kind of stuff, some emergency water, things like this, which is all like common sense sort of things, right? You know what was really cool? I saw the government of Chiba, and I'll show you this for a second. They released a VR, which is just basically a 360 video. I'm gonna just show it to you a little bit. So you could use your finger and pan around, and they kind of give you a feeling of what an earthquake would look like. Look at the telephone wires on top of it, like shaking back and forth here. Here comes a dude running at you, like, run! These are kind of really interesting VR things that they're doing, and they're releasing it onto YouTube in 360, so it might be worth checking out. The Chiba prefectural government 2 years ago looked at this. So you can see looking in a car, maybe not the best place to be. If you're in a tsunami zone, they'll give you a warning. And then the VR lets you know, okay, the water's rising, and now there's a warning here. It'll say, here, this is what's really happening. The wider picture, all the cars are being swamped. You better get out of your car, go to high space. See, they're going up a mountain here. So this kind of stuff helps to train people in case of the worst here. Japanese media is talking about this. We are seeing more and more simulations of Mount Fuji erupting. If you climb Mount Fuji, there's always a risk that something could happen. It's just something that it's just like you're climbing a volcano, all right? So it's something to think about, but they were talking about this about 10 days ago, and when they released reports, the new reports on this, and it helps residents kind of visualize and understand the warnings. But if you look around, and I'm not the best place for it, nobody's like, oh my God, the quake is coming, let's all stop life. It's not gonna happen like that. It doesn't work like that. Most people are just prepared for it, and if we do get a megaquake or a volcanic apocalypse, you know, you're gonna have a story to tell if you survive it, but I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. And by the way, if we get, I think it was like 30 more members, I'm gonna release even more emoji on there. So for just 99 cents a month, you guys get emoji and, you know, early release notifications for main channel episodes, which is kind of cool, and some behind the scenes stuff, which I appreciate. And insiders get even more, which I'm gonna go back this year and make sure that the perks, you guys getting more stuff in there. I really appreciate it. Somebody asked what's the best way to support. Patreon is sustained support, memberships, and super chats are a gift. That's the way you kind of look at it, because the way that YouTube takes revenue from you. But I really appreciate it. The super thanks too has been really appreciated as well, especially on the main channel, which doesn't have memberships on there, but there you go. This is some little notes about the location I'm at here. This is the Olympic Village, where the Olympians stayed in 2021 Olympics. A lot of residents have moved in there, brand new schools. There's a Lalaport small shopping mall. There's a pirate ship playground for kids. This is maybe the best spot for kids. And there is a big virtual Tokyo sign that you can go and jump on. Do I have a picture of that? Let me see. I'm gonna keep it here for a second and keep talking. But Leo and I went here to the playground about 2 months ago, and we were jumping all over that Tokyo sign. You can't climb it. You could jump on it, I guess, but you're not supposed to climb to the top of it. Oh, there it is. Do I have it? I don't know. There's also an Olympic cafe. Here's Leo. So you can go into the Olympic cafe inside of the shopping mall there, and you can see the gold medal and the Olympic torch and stuff in there, which is kind of cool. You can get a coffee, see the memorabilia. You can see what the Olympic Village looked like, and you can get a picture with Mirai Toa. It's kind of cool that they still have this here. They're the Olympic torches there. So that's inside of the Lalaport here, just on the other side of these buildings right here. Awesome playground right here. We don't go to it very often. It's kind of a long bike ride. And right across is Toyosu, the fish market. Right there. You can go on the roof of it. There's a place where you can sit down in the green, but I prefer going to the end right here. I've been there a couple of times. And you can eat a bento on the end here. You can rent a bicycle and ride all along here, no traffic lights. And you can go to that, what is that tourist trap place with all the lights? Planet Labs or something? You can go to that tourist trap over there. I guess it's kind of a neat experience. I haven't done it yet. Or you could just keep riding your bike to Odaiba. Just go straight and you're at the big site and Odaiba and some of the Olympic venues. But it's a pretty neat area. I like this side. This is the side that I live on in Tokyo. A lot of people prefer the Nakano side, the Shinjuku side. I prefer the Bay side. Joshua Skidmore's here. If this was the US, probably see people buying all the toilet paper again. You would see people lining up at Costco for sure. I do have every year I go back and replenish the food. I have a little storage area, and I have I don't know, maybe about a week's supply of canned foods and water, just in case. This happened during the pandemic. We decided to restock this and do this. So we do have I have two 10-liter jugs that I could carry in case there's emergency water. And then I have, we keep the bathtub water in there a little bit longer, because if an earthquake were to happen, you could use that bathtub water to flush the toilet. So we keep the bathtub water there, and you have to scrub the bathtub when you release the water, because, you know, you gotta clean it out. But a lot of Japanese keep the bathtub water in the bathtub for a while, because you can use that for the toilets and stuff. And there's, you know, some of the things that we just have in everyday life we're sort of used to, but living in Japan, you have to put this stuff in the back of your head that a megaquake could happen and you could be shut down for a few days, because this actually happened in 2011. And I'll talk about this next year as we get to the 15th year anniversary memorial of the Great Tohoku earthquake. I'll do a more in-depth episode on this. But you really do have to, we had a supply chain break of about like 2 weeks where the stores were empty. There wasn't any bread. Canned goods were gone. Bottled water gone. People were scared because they didn't know if radiation got into the aquifers, if we were drinking water that's going to make us sick. We just didn't know this stuff. So everything was going off of the shelf real fast. The rest of Japan was trying to supply the Kanto and the Tohoku area. They just couldn't do it. A lot of the roads were broken. We couldn't get power into the Kanto area, so there were rotating power shortages. You remember back then? And because Osaka has 50 hertz and Kanto has 60 hertz, that's why there's a flicker. You don't get the flicker for Osaka if you're filming, but you get flicker in the Tokyo area when you're filming with the smartphones. It's because of the hertz. They can't get the power from Osaka to Tokyo because the two areas separated and they have different hertz. So there's some kind of technological hurdle that they couldn't overcome. So we had to rotate power for the longest time. You know, we worried about our refrigerator and things like this. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to consider in the earthquakes, and that was a good wake-up call 14 years ago. Amanda Main, thank you for the membership. Thank you, guys. Did somebody gift some memberships? Thank you. Disabled Gamer, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Sometimes we get somebody who gifts the memberships here. UFO Bob's really digging those vending machines. What's your favorite emoji? What's your favorite emoji? There's some good ones. I had to take out, there was a little bit too many of Peter and too many of me in silly poses, and there was one with fireworks and some things that weren't used too much. So I kind of retooled it. But if you have a yeah, I couldn't take away Toby, but if you have an emoji idea, let me know as well. I don't respond to direct mail on Facebook, by the way, or Discord. If anybody tries to Discord direct mail you, it's not me. But Saya likes the green tea. So I like that one too. But if you want to direct mail me, Patreon is the best place to do that. Of course, if you sign up for members, I'm really happy about it, but I think you can do it for free as well. But I do respond to Patreon direct mail and email sometimes. But yeah, I get about 100 requests a day, so it's hard to do. There's a fake me going around, so. Just I won't direct mail you for no reason like that, okay? It won't be me. I do like the animated Leo here. And the ramen bowl got updated, so I might do some more food on there. But I think we needed 24 new members in order to get the next batch of emoji. We could add like 2 or 3 more. There you go. One day a tsunami could be hitting the city of Tokyo, but we can't predict that. And I don't think it's gonna be some mega, it'd have to be like an asteroid strike to do something that you would see on the movies, all right? An earthquake doesn't make tsunami exactly like that you see this big wave that would come into Tokyo Bay and destroy the city like Godzilla was coming out of the water. It just doesn't happen like that. The exaggerations, the anti-John, I could see that like Superman, Bizarro Superman, I could see something like that. That could work. And Peso had some cherry blossoms, so we might be revamping the badges, but I kind of like the stars, so it's not too bad, but maybe we'll do it as a cherry blossom design. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I just want to calm things down here. The exaggerations on the potential megaquake, they're not exaggerations in the sense that it could happen. It really could happen, but it's an exaggeration in the sense it's going to be happening like tomorrow and people showing the AI images. It's just, don't be scared to visit Japan. Be educated and come and have some fun because you're going to see this here. Bill Anderson, I've watched too many of your videos. Bill, you don't have to pay anything at all, but I'm super appreciative of it. You're gonna come to Japan, you're gonna see this all over the country, the cherry blossoms. I'm surprised that they're hanging on there. Right now we're in white petal blizzard mode where the blossoms are flying all over the place. It is really a sight to see. It's not gonna last very long. It's pretty much done, but because they're blooming at all different times, if you were to come now, you'd still catch them. But I would say it's like 3 days away before it's like nothing. There's already, you can't see anything on the other side of the harbor there. All right, everybody. Bill, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. We're going to talk about another topic here. I want to do it packing and dressing for April, May. Again, because this is a question I keep getting. So we're going to get back to that kind of stuff. But I think I'm going to have some guests on the channel here, as well as some more main channel releases in April. I've already exceeded the releases of 2024 in 2025. So the main channel is getting a lot of love this year. So I'll see everybody. Have a good day. Catch you soon. Mata ne.